and welcome to my study channel Study Lead. Dear students, this is your favorite writer Ramakant Mahananda sir, and today I am here with a fresh chapter for you. This has been taken from the NCERT textbook for class 10th, and today we are going to do a poem. And the title of this particular poem is Fire and Ice. This beautiful poem has been composed by the great American poet Robert Frost. Dear students, in my previous video, I had uploaded a poem written by Robert Frost, and that was Dust Up Snow. I hope you all have gone through the video, but at the same time, I do want to remind you all, if you have missed the video, please go and watch it again. Once you watch it, you will get a lot of knowledge about it, and this would definitely help you understand this particular poem also. In what way that poem is going to help this one, I would just give you a hint. These two poems have been composed by the same poet, and moreover, in the two poems, the poet has used the same literary devices. He has tried to use symbols, and the same kind of forms can be seen here. So that is why once you go through that poem and understand it deeply, that would definitely help you understand this particular poem. So without any delay, let's move into the poem and understand it line by line. So dear students, in today's video, I would be explaining to you the very small poem, The Fire and Ice. Although this particular poem is having only 9 lines in it, but these 9 lines are very important. It has a very great and stunning moral for you to learn also. At the end of the discussion, we would be also discussing about, we would look into the literary devices that has been applied by the poet in this particular poem. So let us move into the poem. Dear children, as you can see on the screen, I have inserted a poem Fire and Ice here. So you may recite with me also. I would like to recite the poem for you all. Please pay attention to that. Afterwards, I would be explaining you the first stanza, followed by the explanations of the second stanza as well. The poem goes like this. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would definitely suffice. So in this particular poem, if we try to look into the first stanza, the poet here begins the poem with the various beliefs that people have in their mind. You might have heard people saying that how the world is going to end in your villages, in your society, maybe at your home also. Sometimes your family members may be discussing such matters, that how the world is going to end. At this very moment, when we are all fighting the coronavirus, we are all very much afraid. Is the world really going to end here? Yeah, definitely. This is a question that arises in the mind of every person at present. But let us see, in the same way, different types of thoughts, different kinds of thoughts arises in the mind of different kind of people. Okay, and here in this particular poem, the poet is beginning with the various beliefs that are being prophesied by various kind of people or various groups of people. There are some people who say that the world will be consumed by fire. It means the world will be destroyed by the fire. Whereas there are a group of people who also come in defense and say that no, the world will be definitely be destroyed by the ice. So my dear children, what do fire and ice here stand for? These two seems to have some other meanings besides their literal meanings. So if we think it scientifically, before we go into the more deeper meaning of this particular two words that has been implemented here, has been beautifully applied here by the poet, I would like to tell you how scientifically these two can destroy the entire world. My dear children, you all know that scientifically, if we think, fire can cause mass destruction. In the same way, the desire of being supreme, being the most powerful country, and to rule over others might lead to destruction. So here the poet has not used the fire in the scientific point of view. Rather, the literal meaning here, I would say that fire means your desire. What kind of desires the poet is talking about here? The desires to become the supreme power of the world. The desire to become the one and only most powerful nation, the one and only most powerful, the richest person in the world. We all have various desires in our mind and body. We all want to be rich. We all want others to respect us. We want to rule the entire world. It is not just you, but it is each and every individual in the entire world possess such mindset. So, the poet is very much worried about such people who have such desires in mind. If you, my dear children, if you turn the pages of the history, go down the memory lane, if you look into the war that has been fought in the past, there you will get your reply. This particular poem there comes true. It fits the best in that context because the World War First, the World War Second, these two huge world wars where millions of warriors they sacrificed their life. Millions of families lost their beloved ones was only for the ruling of the entire world. There were few powers in the entire world who wanted the others to respect them, who wanted their supremacy over other countries. And because of this lust, because of this cruelty, because of this possessive desire, this deadly desire, vulnerable desire, I would say, it brought two world wars. So in the same way, if we do not change our mindset, if we continue to nurture such kind of desires, destructive desires in the mind, then definitely the days are not fire when the entire world will be consumed by the fire. And the lines written by this great poet, American poet, Robert Frost, would be materialized, would come true. So this is what the explanations of the first stanza. Now let us move into the second stanza. What does the poet say in the second stanza? I would like to repeat the second stanza again for you, my dear children, so that you understand it better. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. My dear children, here the poet says that if the world had to perish twice, do you think the world will be perished twice, will be destroyed twice? Why the poet has used the word twice here? Here comes a very simple logic. If suppose if the fire failed to consume it completely, if the fire fails to destroy the world completely, then there would be someone else who is ready to consume the rest of the world. And what is the that particular factor? That factor is none other than the eyes. So my dear children, let us first of all discuss how scientifically the eyes may destroy the entire world. You might have heard about the global warming. You must be aware of the ocean water level and the sea water level gradually increasing every year. You might have heard about the melting of the huge icebergs in the Antarctica. You might have heard the rising of the and water level in each and every water bodies every year. So all these things, it symbolizes that. It gives us a warning to the human being that if we do not change our attitude towards the nature, then maybe in future the nature will destroy the human being. It would consume the entire world and human beings would be nowhere. So this was the scientific interpretation of this particular point that has been made by Robert Frost. But let us see what Robert Frost wants to say here. Is it the ice? I mean the solid form of H2O? Is it going to melt and destroy the world? No, my dear children. It is not the solid H2O, but there is something that is more deadly, that is more destructive, that is more violent and vulnerable than this solid form of H2O or ice. What is that? That is none other than our coldness, our stoneness, our rigidity in thoughts and deeds, our isolated attitudes towards the society, hate for our neighbors, hate for the members of the society, not being warm to others. These are some of the problems that we have all created in the world. And because of that, we are not in a position to survive here peacefully. A time will come when all these things will consume us completely. The coldness, the stoneness, the rigidity, each and everything would overpower the human being. And that would lead to the destruction of the world. So it is not the ice, not the solid form of water that is dangerous to the society, that is dangerous to the world. Rather, it is our behavior, our attitude that we are showing towards the members of the society that is more vulnerable, and that it definitely cause the perish of the entire world. So my dear children, this poem is really very, very important for all of us to appreciate and understand its value. It gives us a great message how to save the humanity. If you really want the humanity to survive, if you really want the human beings to exist for a long and long period of time on the earth, then definitely we have to overcome all these things that is about to consume the humanity, not just humanity, which would consume the entire world. It would turn the entire world into a desert. It would turn the entire world into a desert without a single living human being. So, my dear children, with this, we have come to the end of the explanation part. Now, we shall look into the analysis of this particular poem. Let us see what are the literary devices that has been used by this great poet. Although this seems to be a very small poem, but still the poet has applied a very quite a good number of literary devices here. The first literary devices, according to me, that he has beautifully applied is rhyme scheme. The poem has a beautiful rhyme scheme. The first line of the poem rhymes with the third line and the fourth line. The second line rhymes with the fifth line. So in this way, you can see the rhyming scheme. The rhyming scheme makes the poem more interesting. It makes it more enjoyable when you recite it and you find a rhyming scheme, then you find it more enjoying, more interesting. The next one that he has applied beautifully is assonance. What is assonance? I would like to tell you what the assonance is. Assonance is nothing but the repetition of a vowel in a particular line. If you look into the line, I hold with those who favor fire. I hold with those who favor fire. In this particular line, you can see that I have highlighted the vowel sound O. Hold those who favor. So in these four words, the same vowel sound has been repeatedly used, and this has been knowingly done by the poet. Okay? Very cleverly that has been used. So that's why this assonance is another literary device the poet has applied here. Next comes the alliteration. I had taught you about alliteration in my previous video also. Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound in the starting of a word in a particular line. If you look into the poem, there you will find some say the word, some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. Some say. Here as these two are consonant sounds. And these two consonant sounds are very much closely used. They are closely placed words in this line. That's why we say that this is an alliteration. I hold with those who favor fire. Favor, F, fire, F. These two words starts with or begins with consonant sounds F. So here also alliteration can be found. World will, again W, W. These two are the consonant sounds. So again it is an alliteration here. And the last one that the poet has used beautifully, that is the personification. What is personification? It is very quite simple, and I think in many poems you might have found it also. If you love literatures and go through the poems and look into the analysis of it, then definitely you must have got a little bit of ideas about it. So what is personification? Personification means giving human-like qualities to inanimate objects. Okay, means giving human beings like qualities to the objects, that may be non-living objects also. Okay, like here you see fire and ice. Do you think fire and ice can go and destroy someone? No, but they have been described in the poem in such a way that as if they are human beings and they are planning to destroy the entire world. Okay, they have been portrayed as human beings, means they have been given the qualities of a human being, they have been given the qualities of a person. That is why this kind of technique is called personification. So in this way, altogether 4 different literary devices has been used by the poet in this poem. So with this we have come to the end of the